saying the same thing over and over at work.
One second from half court.
Jumping for joy with
first ever.
A 2-on-1. Oh,
did he bring it in? He did.
it is. A happy Wednesday evening, everyone who is tuning into this on the NFHS Network. Western New York Athletics Live here at SUNY Buffalo State University for the New York State Boys Class A Regional Semifinals. between Monroe of Section 5 and Grand Island of Section 6. We thank you guys for tuning into this one. My name is Jacob Flack. Alongside with me is Ryan Mountain. And Ryan, coming into this game, one team in Grand Island that had a dominant effort to win the crossover game. Another one in Monroe had to fight tooth and nail to get to the spot here tonight.
Well, Jake, the bottom line is the sectionals are over. Both of these schools are going to hang a championship banner in their gymnasiums. But will it read sectional champ or will it read sectional champ and regional champ? That's going to be decided tonight. Both teams control their own destiny.
And then looking into this matchup here, when it comes to both squads, a 17-5 record for Monroe and then for Grand Island, 22 wins and 2 losses. And what was a common theme for both these teams when it came to their section titles, it was a championship drought that they both ended.
Outstanding. And you know what the bottom line is? They've got two tremendous leaders. I was able to talk with both coaches prior to the game. We'll start with the visiting Monroe Red Jackets and head coach Terrell Cunningham. Keys for success. He said, number one, we've got to attack the rim on offense. Not only getting to the rim and finishing inside, but also attacking the offensive glass for second chance opportunities. Number two, he said, we got to rebound. We must rebound the basketball off Grand Island's misses. They're too good. And number three, he said they want to contest all shots without fouling and keep out of foul trouble. He said that the Red Jackets play very aggressive defense. They want to pressure, but without fouling. And for the home team, Grand Island, Chris Simpson, his keys for success. Number one, he said they got to be physical on defense. This is a physical team. You'll get into the football aspect of the Red Jackets in a second, but very physical team. So he says they got to match that physical offense with physical defense. And also, they're going to have to handle the pressure on the offensive end. Number two, he said they're going to have to block out. He said their two bigs are tremendous offensive rebounders and defensive rebounders, so they got to try and at least keep it even on the boards. Number three, calculated dribbles. He doesn't want that ball dribbled too often because that's when bad things happen.
Starting five here, we'll start off with the Section 5 squad in Monroe as the ball's tipped. Grand Island will begin with it. Actually, we'll start off with Grand Island starting lineup since they have it. And the all-white uniforms and blue lettering and numbering as we got a quick stoppage in play here. For the Vikings, senior 0, Jonathan Neville is out there with the junior, number 1, Jake Castiglia. Number 3, Jeremiah Wilkes, the sophomore out there, along with number 5, the junior Dane Brown, and the sophomore number 11, Chase Uribe, completing the 5 for the Vikings as they pop it off their first possession. A three-pointer in the corner by Dane Brown.
And if you haven't seen Dane Brown play across New York State, if you're watching, one of the premier players in Section 6 in all of New York State, and an incredible three-point shooter. He's shooting at 47%. That's his 77th three on the season.
Now we got another stoppage in play here, as it might be an issue here with the game clock. And while the players are with their respective coaching staffs, I'll go through the starting 5 here for Monroe. They're in their all-black uniforms with red numbering and lettering. Navarian Patton, the junior, number 1, will be out there with number 2, the junior Taj Holmes. Senior, number 4, Jordan Reese, will be out there with another senior. And number 10, Anthony Omibe. And number 14, Brian Walker, the 6'4" junior, will be out there to complete the 5. And Walker, as we see here on Monroe's side of things, he was a standout in their Class A championship game where Monroe took on Wayne last week for the Section 5 Class A championship, and it came down to the wire where Walker came up big for Monroe, scoring the last 4 points in the final moments of the fourth quarter to catapult his team to the first section title since 1982 and his fourth in program history. And we're not done with that story yet, folks. We'll get to more about Walker and his journey from Long Island all the way back to Rochester. But now, action. Back out onto the court. Patton, the junior, bringing it up.
You mentioned Walker. He's averaging 10 points and 13 rebounds, Jake.
Guys that be able to attack the paint and become a big rebounder inside. And right now, Walker currently right around the free throw line. Here's a jumper on the way for the Red Jackets. It doesn't go, and the rebound's there for the Vikings.
In a 3-2 zone for the Vikings. Not a defense that they've played majority of the time this season.
Nice pass inside, but a bobble there from Brown, and we go the other way. Quick out in transition. Tried to tip it inside to a teammate. Bobbled, but Monroe able to keep it. Corner 3 on the way. Doesn't splash down, but the rebound's there by Uribe.
And a good sign for the Vikings. 2 defensive rebounds without any second chance opportunities for Monroe.
Grand Island with a successful season this year, 20-plus wins, a section title under their belt, but they think themselves as a team that can go much further where, if you're a program where you win your section title after a long championship drought, most teams just go with that. But they think this team's talented enough to where they can go even further, all the way to states, as these players and coaching staffs are really confident.
Well, right now, Jake, what you're seeing is Grand Island is comfortable out there on this floor, having played 3 games here already, and the visiting team from Monroe is a little uncomfortable. It's not an easy place to play, so Grand Island gets a slight advantage there.
Ball goes out of bounds, staying with Grand Island. Shot clock is at 34. And the one thing, the big key about the Buffalo State Sports Arena, Ryan, is there's a certain depth perception that you have to be able to adapt to, because it's much different than your most typical high school gym.
No question about it. Very big arena. As you can see, pressure defense from the Red Jackets.
Bounce passing it over, Uribe. Able to kick it back out, though. Trying to look for that open teammate, but nothing's there so far. Keep it along the perimeter. 5 to go on the shot clock. Here's Neville with it from the far wing. 1 second, throws it up. Too strong off the glass, and that will be a shot clock violation. Great defensive job there by Monroe.
Yep, and if the Red Jackets are going to play defense like that all night long, the Vikings are going to have to look to set each other up. They're going to have hard basket cuts, finishing at the rim, not just simply passing and trotting through the lane. They're going to have to cut hard because that's going to get people open. They're also going to have to screen and get each other open as well.
Patton using that screen, moving it towards the right. So they try to swing it back over. Patton keeping it to the left now. Here's Reese. Looking go inside. Looks like that's Walker, but Uribe is able to smack the ball away. In transition, Grand Island hop-stepping up, layup too strong. Viking trying to go for the offensive board, but it's taken away by Reese.
And those are those situations that the Vikings are going to have to capitalize if they're going to get out of here with a win.
Tip ball will stay with Monroe.
Now we're talking about the Red Jackets defense. Grand Island, you don't get this far without defense being the backbone of your program, and that certainly has been. They put up some serious points this year, but, man, they defend.
Patton's three-pointer knocks down from the top of the key. And one of the things about Monroe is sometimes out of that shot, they'll try to go that full-court press or try to initiate a trap. You saw there it looked like they wanted to go with a trap, but Grand Island just too fast bringing it up court.
Well, they're prepared. They understand that press is coming, so that everyone will be on the same page. Coach Simpson's been coaching for almost 30 years at Grand Island, so they'll be ready, but that right there can't happen.
Off the turnover. Layup, too strong. Ball's tipped off a Viking. Last touch by Jake Castiglia.
Yeah, tremendous hustle there from both squads.
On a drive for the layup. Couldn't get the friendly roll, but a great attempt there by Patton. But the Red Jackets keep it alive on their side of the court. And Patton will head to the line for the first time this evening.
Well, Coach Cunningham's point of emphasis was to attack that rim. And the Monroe Red Jackets certainly are doing that. The three-point shots that they have taken so far have been off of dribble penetration, getting 2 feet into that paint, and that's where you break defenses down, right at those elbows and those blocks. Notice the baseline drive broke the entire defense down. It'll be interesting to see how long Coach Simpson stays in that 3-2. And here's your press.
Patton knocking down both the free throws. Let's look, they'll just sag off to their defense. Open underneath Uribe's, and jumping up too early there was Taj Holmes. He'll draw the foul.
Yeah, Uribe's excellent spacing. Notice how Jonathan Neville had his eyes up scanning the floor the entire time. He got a little got caught over on that sideline, but before he entered that trapping area, he was scanning the floor and then obviously seen a teammate wide open underneath the basket. So you can attack that press with good spacing, and that's exactly what the Vikings did, earning 2 free throws.
Chase Uribe's entering his sophomore season. 24 points last game against Fredonia in the Class A crossover game. Southpaw knocks down both his shots at the line. Tied up here at 5, just over 4:30 to go in the first.
Yeah, so far, really good ball movement from Monroe.
Nice job inside. Just able to attack in and then kick it out.
Yeah, you can't tell on the screen, but Reese is 6'4", and you could tell the way he just caught that. He's comfortable in and around that basket. Beautiful shot from the senior.
From the top of the key, switching over and out of the far corner. Now along the baseline, bouncing the pass to Uribe's. Now from the far wing, too high of a pass intended. What looked like to be to Dane Brown, but it's turned over.
And Jake, what that is right there is being uncomfortable. And that's what Monroe wants to do, is create some chaos and make the Vikings uncomfortable, not be able to play at a comfortable pace.
One more chance for Patton's 3, doesn't fall. Brown there for the rebound. Brown just been a phenomenal athlete for this Grand Island program. Has been able to do so much for this team and bring out the success in the program, as under that scrummage there, Grand Island able to get possession back and a quick timeout with 3:41 to go in this one, whereas Monroe currently having a 2-point advantage over Grand Island. We'll step aside and be back with more boys playoff basketball on the NFHS Network.
This is heart. This is pride. This is community. This is high school football.
Why not at time?
I can segue that. Welcome back, everyone, here to the Boys Class A Regional Semifinal here at Buffalo State. Where this recent stretch here, the past couple minutes from Monroe, Ryan, they've definitely have been able to provide a spark.
Yeah, long bus ride, long day at school, long bus ride, but it took them about 3 minutes to wake up, and you're seeing a whole different team on both ends of the floor.
Shot attempt there doesn't go by Wilkes. And now for Monroe, looking to try and, well, looked like to extend the lead, but mishaps there with ball control, and Hardy turns it over.
Yeah, John Hardy, a junior, also 6'4", and he's averaging 13 points a game. What I like about this Monroe team is balance. Navarian Patton, 15 points a game. Taj Holmes, 16 points a game. John Hardy, 13 points a game. Jordan Reese, 8 points. And then the center with 10 points, Brian Walker, which we talked about. So that's balance. That's why they're here.
And also the size, too, that helps them a lot when it comes to length, and especially on the defensive side of the ball for reboundings, and able to find a way to drive in, too. Fadeaway jumper, too strong that time. Reese will bring it up. He goes to Patton, tries to adjust, couldn't get the right angle off that layup attempt. Neville getting it over, foul called. Wilkes, the sophomore, heading to the line.
And Grand Island averages 67.4. Look, and this is why. Nice transition. Again, scanning, not bringing it right down the middle, running the floor. A really nice attempt. And that's Monroe saying you're not going to get anything easy. You're going to have to earn everything tonight. But Grand Island gets out and runs with the best of them. That's why they're averaging almost 70 points a game. But Monroe is also right up there. They're averaging 65 points a game. So it's only 5-7, but it's got potential to be a really fun, wide open game if the kids decide to take over the game. But these two veteran coaches, they're going to make sure that each team is valuing every possession.
Ryan Mayer, another sophomore on this Grand Island team, checking in for the first time.
Yeah, Mayer, a nice player. Both coaches have went into their bench already. If you're going to play as hard as you can, you got to rotate.
Top of the key 3, off back iron. Patton, offensive rebound, able to adjust, but traveled. 5 points for him so far here today as he ends up traveling there, but you could just tell his court presence. He has been all over early on.
Yeah, he's got one mentality on the offensive glass. There's one ball out there, and I'm going to go get it.
Right now, Mayer from the far wing, swinging around. Castiglia being guarded by Reese. Now Wilkes moving over towards the mid-range corner. Brown kicks out for the three and knocks it down.
And if I'm a Viking tonight, I'm going to make it a point to make sure that I can find my teammate Dane Brown. Like I said earlier, silky smooth. He's almost hit 83s on the season.
A nice attempt there from Walker to Reese. Better pass there from Reese to Walker, who attacks in.
Yeah, nice little pocket pass there. But going back to Dane Brown, the beauty of it is, like, there, he was defended there, but he's got the height. He just shoots over you. I say it every broadcast. Dirk Nowitzki style.
Well, here comes Brown in, and now he's gaining some momentum from the corner, attacks in with the layup. And I'll tell you what, so far, Ryan, 11 points for Grand Island. He has all their shots made so far in this quarter alone. Three-pointer, too strong. Ball's tipped, and it will go to Grand Island.
Yeah, Dane Brown, not only has he scored 570 points on the season, averaging 24, but 187 rebounds, 37 blocks, and he's an 88% free throw shooter. So if it comes down to that, keep that in mind.
Brown, three-pointer, doesn't fall that time. And Patton able to snag the board under a minute go here in the first. Down by 2, Monroe. Player falls down, but they keep possession. Walker kicks it back out. Nice feed inside for the reverse layup by Hardy. And you could see that zone offense there, Ryan. It starts with Patton, but it also kind of starts with Walker too. He's the recipient of where that zone defense from Grand Island moves, and they take advantage of it. Here's another three-point chance, and it falls for Brown. He's already got 11.
Excellent point on the defense there, Jake, but I had to wait for my point because I saw the puppies were set, and I could tell that stroke was going down, and now we've got 15 on the clock.
No shot clock as well. Reese facing that zone defense. Patton, open, three-pointer, doesn't go. 5 now and ticking away. Long pass to Castiglia. Try to feed it. Ball's tipped. 3 on the way. Hits iron and does not fall. But a nice little stretch there by Grand Island to take the lead back and end the first up by 3. Boys Class A Regional semifinal round here, coming back with the second quarter and more on your way here on the NFHS Network.
Playing high school sports has made me a better person, especially with my mental toughness and endurance, and gave me a growth mindset.
High school sports are worth protecting because it gives students an outlet to become what they want to be.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail. Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously. Yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials across the country because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Welcome back, everyone, here to the NFHS Network for Boys Class A Regional semifinal round here at Buffalo State University, where Grand Island staying in that 3-2 zone.
Well,
Ryan, you've seen throughout the season. They haven't done much of it.
Well, sorry to cut you off there. We were just talking in the break. I haven't seen much 3-2, as now they hit a 3. But they actually, Coach Simpson did switch it up. I anticipated Coach Simpson switching it up. He did to his 2-3. But defense was there on that shot, just a better shot. But the point I want to make is I can tell that Monroe is used to seeing a lot of zone because they're very comfortable against the zone. And Grand Island does play very good defense. At some point, I think we're going to see some man-for-man defense out of the Vikings and maybe give Monroe a little taste of their own medicine with that pressure because they can crank it on when they want to.
Right now, Monroe in the man-to-man defense. Grand Allen having a bit of a hard time with it. Shot up there. Not that time, though, as Wilkes, the sophomore, gets it to go from the right elbow.
Yeah, very calm, nice possession, poised, ball movement, player movement, and then just a simple jab step pull-up. Just because they're playing and trying to create chaos doesn't mean you have to speed your game up.
Good defense there by Grand Island as Monroe will keep possession. And one thing to notice about here in this game, two really skillful point guards that can dish the ball around, and that's in Jonathan Neville for Grand Island and Navarion Patton for Monroe. Two guys that can really swing the ball around and create sparks when moving the offense.
Agree 100%. Obviously, I've seen Neville play for a couple years, but I'm really impressed with Monroe's point guard as well.
On a drive, that's blocked by Brown. Quickly in transition, they'll hold it up from the perimeter and set it up. Here's Neville trying to look for a teammate. Mayer, ball got bobbled, and it's stripped and taken away. Now the ball's on the ground. Grand Island gets it back. Three-pointer, not that time, by Castiglia.
Yeah, excellent transition defense there by Monroe. Grand Island is used to scoring in those situations, but this is the state playoffs.
Bobble there by Monroe, and here come the Vikings on a 3-on-1. Mayer layups in.
Points off defense. Grand Island's going to need him tonight, especially if that suffocating defense on the other end in the half court is going to be there. They need points off of deflections, steals, offensive rebounds, and foul shots.
Bounce pass it over. Nice feed there from Reese to Walker, as Walker will head to the line and have a chance for a three-point play. And this is a story that, has been really good here, as we'll take a look at the replay here.
And real quick,
blocked there by Brown, but here's now in transition that led to that nice bucket inside. But to go here about Brian Walker real quick. Before their championship game they had against Wayne, Walker was in Staten Island representing his school at the Indoor State Championships. After the event, the dual athlete came back to Rochester, suited up, and became a vital part in their championship contest, hitting a game-winning shot with 25 seconds left in that game to help his team win the title. And oh, by the way, he also led the team in scoring that time, whereas right now Dane Brown's doing it for his team in Grand Island.
That's a tremendous story, Jake. Yes, good things there. Grand Island, way to pitch it. And then you had a basket cut away from the ball, not just standing and hoping that somebody gets you open, cutting to the basket, taking advantage of defense when they're not looking.
And that ball will be turned over going to the Vikings. Exactly 5 minutes here in this first half.
A nice job here from Coach Cunningham. Everything goes through Jonathan Neville. Notice that number one, Navarian Patton is picking him up full court, making somebody else dribble it up, and there we go. We got a turnover. Oh, yep, offensive foul on Uribe's. But the point of that is, if you watch film and you see, all right, now everything goes through the point guard, an old school team. A lot of teams play positionless now, so other people can bring it up, but so what Coach Cunningham is doing is trying to get the ball out of his hands, seeing if somebody else can start the offense. And right there is a prime example. There's a great steal here by Wilkes. Oh,
trying to feed it to Neville. It still goes into his possession, and it still ends up with 2 points. Another bucket off the turnover here. Grand Island is getting some momentum up here by 6.
Phenomenal save off the great steal by Wilkes. But did you see how Neville just picked the ball up and looked to the basket? He did not put the ball to the floor.
Rebound attempt there by Reese, but couldn't find a teammate. Now in transition, trying to go to Brown off the alley-oop. He'll go and tack in, draws the foul, and we'll head to the line for a three-point play.
Again, points off defense. We got a replay here. First of all, turnover. Beautiful pass, and he was going for a little alley-oop there, but great control. That's not an easy catch, finishing through contact. There's some slight contact there. Let's see if Dane Brown can capitalize.
Well, you got to give Wilkes at least A for effort. He wanted Brown to go up and throw that thing down.
No question about it. Hey, we're here. We're going to play discipline, but we're going to have a little fun while we're doing it, too. Unfortunately for Will, of course, Wilkes is still going to go to the bench and get a little water after the pass, but that's okay. It's a good time to get some rest. He's been playing hard.
Here's now Walker against the double team.
Yeah, and notice
it's going to be a travel.
Notice the difference in the two defenses. Now that Grand Island is playing a defense that they're used to playing in, Monroe had a nice top-down feed a few possessions back, but it's been turnover city since that they've won 2-3.
Grand Island looking for their first double-digit lead in this one. Be the first one in the game. Neville from the top of the key, swinging on over to Uribe's. Now finding Brown, popping up, triple, doesn't fall. Offensive board, though. Mayer, that's swatted, but it goes in the hands of a teammate in Jake Castiglia, who responds with the putback.
Right place at the right time. Mayer was 1-on-4 there, probably was better off pivoting and finding a three-point shooter, but they'll take it.
An 11-point advantage. Now off the screen, Patton. Hardy, triple is in from the corner.
Huge shot for Hardy in the corner. It's not how many you score, it's when you score them, and that was a monumental shot for Monroe.
Mayer going to Castiglia. It's being guarded by Holmes as Grand Island moving over towards the right. Now Brown, step back, fade away. That goes in. And just like you said earlier, shades of Dirk Nowitzki there.
Just like Dirk would do that little step back off of 1 foot, he did the same thing.
Patton's triple doesn't go. Monroe trying to find a spark from their three-point shots, but it hasn't found much success. And Grand Island trying to take advantage. Shot there doesn't go, but they get another offensive rebound. Brown, jumper, it's in.
And someone is in the zone, and his name is Dane Brown, and good for his teammates looking for him.
Unofficially, I have him down as 20 points already. Brown, with that tip, creates a steal. Castiglia try to go up, but Grand Island still with that. Here's Brown, jumper, doesn't go. And now a foul is going to be called here on Grand Island.
But see how the Vikings just help each other out, Jake? Like, that was a 2-on-1, 3-on-2 situation. It's happened a couple times, but they're backing their teammates up. First of all, they've got great spacing on their fast breaks, looking to set each other up, and you can tell that they're ready to receive a pass, and their intent is to pass it. That was a decent read there from Castiglia. He should have went up with the other hand, but still, Neville's there on the offensive rebound. Wilkes has been there on the Uribe's has been there on the offensive rebound. They all help each other out, and that's why they've only lost to one team in Western New York all year.
Reese, Euro step, going up. Couldn't get the right angle on the shot as we now hit 90 seconds here in the first half. Uribe's fighting there along the block, trying to look for a teammate. Bounce past the Brown, goes in for the layup.
And again, excellent basket cut. And here we got a steal. Well, near steal, but great basket cut. And Uribe's looking for someone to cut, and you got a teammate cutting. And right now, Monroe's going to have to do some cleaning up of their defense at halftime because Mr. Dane Brown's too comfortable.
Shot up there, doesn't fall. Brown, it's bobbled off him, and Monroe will get possession with 58.5 seconds to go here in this one. And so far, the second quarter, been a dominant for Grand Island, outscoring Monroe 19-7. And now Walker able to tack on 2 more points.
And that's one way to attack the other team's best scorer, and that's to make a play defense.
It's now Neville. Right by the Bengals half-court logo. Less than 40 seconds here. Moves it over to Wilkes. Ball gets tipped, though. Castiglia able to get it. Now go to Brown. Wilkes now with 30 seconds left. Trying to drive. Nice feed over from Wilkes to Chase Uribe's.
Yeah, the help side defense not there for Monroe. And Grand Island taking advantage of it with just simple basketball. Backdoor cuts when overplayed. But it all has good spacing. And the Vikings are on the same page as they force another turnover. So, Jake, what was the score at the end of the first quarter?
14 to, I believe it was 14-11 was the score.
Okay. So, right now, Monroe's scored 10 points in this entire quarter after Coach Simpson went to that 2-3 zone.
There's now 5 seconds left with a chance to extend it more. Wilkes, spin, kicks it out. Uribe's jumper, it's in!
And that's Uribe's spot. He is an excellent mid-range shooter from that short corner area and the high post area. Probably the best mid-range shooter, well, second best to Dane Brown, but that is his bread and butter. Excellent pass there from Wilkes to set him up.
And they have already sprinted back to their locker rooms. This Grand Island squad that's led by head coach Christopher Simpson has had a dominant performance here, mainly in the second quarter, as they were able to outscore Monroe 23-10. And a lot of that came from their junior and lead scorer in Dane Brown. We'll step aside and we'll be right back with a little bit with our halftime report here at Buffalo State University for the boys Class A Regional semifinal round on the NFHS Network.
My favorite thing about playing high school sports is definitely the community it builds.
It's taught me leadership, it's taught me resilience.
Many people might go on to not play collegiately, but they can take a lot of skills that they learn and use it in their professional life, in their future careers.
High school sports are worth protecting because it gives students an outlet to grow, to become a leader, to become what they want to be.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
No business being out there.
You know, I'm a person too.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail. Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials across the country because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
This is heart. This is pride. This is community. This is high school football. #1 priority is protecting our players. That's why we're writing new rules for the sport and developing innovative educational tools that protect our athletes. This is player protection. This is high school football.
Sorry.
Welcome back, everyone, here to the NFHS Network, West New York Athletics, here at Buffalo State University for the boys Class A regional semifinal round between Grand Island and Monroe. And it was a very competitive game, as we'll take a look at the highlights here in this one. Back and forth battle at first here, Ryan, and then eventually Grand Island was able to pull away.
Yeah, good transition there. Good. Notice the basket cut. Another basket cut. Ball movement, player movement. Pretty good defense there, but once he gets a good sight line to the basket, it's going down. Again, screen from zero, into the paint, crack back shot. That's ball movement, player movement. He's coming behind the pass, over the top. Really nice finish here. Block. Out in transition. There was a nice finish by that player as well on a reverse, though. That's a great zone pass, and that's really the only good offensive play they had against that zone. Always pitching ahead, looking ahead. But again, the Vikings helping each other out, expecting the miss. And again, that is offensive rebound. And this was just fortuitous. Great block there for Monroe, but right into Castigula's hands for the putback. Some bad luck there for Monroe. And again, great drive. Notice how he gets to that block. Help defense comes over. Proper spacing. Wilkes knew where he was going and had a little dipsy doodle there behind the back. And that's Urabe's. That's his spot. The short corner. He's a zone buster there. I've seen him a few times versus zone. And he makes those shots right there in that short corner and high post area. Very good shooter, especially for a sophomore. And he's very poised. Career high the other night in the regional. But going back to the keys for success there, Jake, as far as we'll touch on Grand Island first, they've got the 37-21 lead. Coach wanted to be physical on defense. Haven't really seen much of that, but I have seen some physicality on the boards, which is what he wanted. Because he said, we need to block out. We need to block out their two bigs and their guards, because their guards are excellent offensive rebounders as well. And probably why he came out in that 3-2 zone, because that's a pretty good defense to block out in, keep those guards in from crashing. But it was really the defensive shift that they went back to their 2-3, which they've played throughout the season. Some man in 2-3 where everybody's on the same page. Excellent move by Coach Simpson. He wanted calculated dribbles. And what that means, dribble with a purpose. If you're just dribbling without a purpose, you're not helping the team. You have two reasons, to attack or to set up a teammate. And then handle the pressure. For the most part, Grand Island has handled the pressure. Now, that got a little easier, Jake, because the scoring slowed down for the Red Jackets in that second quarter. The Red Jackets got to get out and score, so then they can set their defensive pressure, and that's how they can get back in the game. For Coach Terrell Cunningham, keys for success, attack the rim. They really have done that. But the problem is that Grand Island's bigger than you think, and they're athletic as well. Dane Brown, 6'7", he puts those hands up. He's doing a nice job of protecting the rim without fouling. Rebounding, for the most part, Grand Island's out-rebounded them. And I know that Coach Cunningham made it a point of emphasis. If they don't rebound, they're going to be in trouble. And number 3, contesting all shots without fouling. I think that if Monroe got this far, they're capable of playing more aggressive, and that's what he wanted. He wanted aggressive defense and pressure. It's 37-21 at this point. You know, Coach just woke him up from the defensive standpoint, and if the Red Jackets can get the ball through the hole in this third quarter, I think you're going to see them really, really wake up on the defensive end, crank that pressure up, and I've got a hunch that we're going to have a good fourth quarter here. That team is not going to go away. State champions on the football field, right. 34-0, and state championship Coach Cunningham just won the sectional championship. He won the sectionals for the football team and the states. So you know he knows how to motivate and inspire his team to go. So I expect a really big third quarter for the Red Jackets. But the Vikings have been there. They've got an incredible record. Only one loss to a Section 6 team. That was North Tonawanda, who won Class AA. So they'll be poised and ready to finish themselves.
And here comes the second half. 16-plus advantage for Grand Island if you're just tuning into this one. From the big dominance of Dane Brown, who has 22 of Grand Island's 37 points. Neville, guarded by Patton, was averaging just over 7 assists per game, but unfortunately there traveled, wanted a push call, but ref said he traveled.
And right off the bat, what I was just talking about, the pressure. They're capable of it, and we got a turnover right off the bat. That's a good sign for Coach Cunningham.
And you would like to see more of that scoring, especially from Taj Holmes and John Hardy, as those guys are been shooting well over 13 points a game. Taj Holmes almost 17 points a contest as he tries to get it to go there. That was Hardy on the corner three, but missed it that time. And also a guy that could score as well is Navarian Patton, who's has 4 points so far, but been a little bit cold shooting from the three. Holmes has as well, and so is Hardy.
Well, they were comfortable in that first quarter. They have not been comfortable since. This is usually a lob situation when they run this play.
Brown going to kick it out. Wilkes going to get a screen from Uribe's. Now attack. Euro step pass. Brown three. Doesn't go. Ball's tipped. Wilkes grabs the offensive rebound at first. Now him and Patton are fighting for it. As it looked like Patton may have touched it, had possession, but touched it as well as the ball went out of bounds. And it's going to stay with Grand Island.
Okay, this play here, Jake, will be a down screen for the inbounder. Or he could slip it to the basket.
All right, right there, it doesn't fall, but another offensive rebound chance. And that's something we haven't really discussed yet, Ryan. It's just been so many second and even sometimes third chance opportunities Grand Island has been able to get. Just a very strong rebounding game for them so far. Castiglia has Neville. He's open, wants to drive in, goes up the glass, and gets the ball. And Neville with his first bucket of the game.
Yeah, and Neville only averages 4 points a game, but that's fine because he leads the team in assists and steals. He's second in steals. Apologize.
Trying to move it over, but a foul is called on Grand Island.
I'm going to correct myself. I apologize. 175 assists for Neville and 65 steals is the lead for the team.
And he's had several games this season where the senior guard has produced more than 10 assists in the contest. Something you don't really see too often in high school basketball, as Patton hoping that shot can get him some momentum back.
And those are the shots that Grand Island is giving them, is those mid-rangers. I think that if the drives aren't there, we got great defensive pressure and steal.
And now a foul here. Reese heading to the line. And there was that half-court trap. They had it right at midcourt, able to take it right away, go the other direction, and now have a chance for 2 free throws.
Yeah, as much as the defense immediately is going to start as soon as the Red Jackets score, the offensive continuity and teamwork must start as well for the Vikings because they are coming. There's going to be pressure. There's going to be a trap. You don't know where it's going to come from. So everyone needs to be on the same page, and they have to help each other out and meet the pass. Because otherwise, this is going to be about a 5 to 7 point game before you know it.
Reese going 1 of 2 from the line as Neville able to break it out before the trap. Nice feed inside. Brown creates contact in the paint and will head to the line.
And notice how Castiglia did not hold on to that basketball when he was the first player to catch it out of that trap. There was a trap on the ball, first of all. Neville, nice job moving it, but Castiglia did not hold it. He looked to his teammate down underneath the basket. That's always your first look.
And then Brown there connecting on the free throw attempt. Just a phenomenal season he's had and being listed as a guard and 6'7" guard. Imagine that. Usually you don't get that at this type of level here. Usually you're playing that 5 spot, but his offensive prowess has been very good throughout this Grand Island program as Brown goes 2 of 2 from the line. Swinging over off that triangle pass. Wing three-pointer doesn't go. Reese bobbled off the offensive rebound chance. And now a quick pass, long one to Uribe's, but luckily Grand Island will keep it.
Yeah, and Reese averaging 8 rebounds a game. He had a hand on it, but when he went to rip it, he lost control of it.
Here's Wilkes moving over to Uribe's. He sees Walker there, tries to kick it out. Brown, open, mid-range, short. Patton tips it over to Walker, and he'll get it back from him. Quickly bringing us up, just under 5:30 to go in the third. Reverse layup there. Nothing falling there for Reese.
More great transition defense. Both teams playing very good transition D.
Uribe's three-pointer. It falls from the near wing.
And Uribe's coming off a career high, says, Coach Mountain, I've got the mid-range game, but I could step out behind the three-point arc as well. Silky smooth shot.
Walker on a drive, layup, gets the go, and the foul.
Excellent drive and finish there from Walker. Showing off some of those track skills, got to the basket in one dribble, finishing through contact. And now, if he hits this free throw, they can set their press.
Walker had 18 points last game, won the Class A championship MVP award, connects on a three-point play, and was also part of the Section 5 Class A all-tournament squad.
Here comes your trap from the side. There's your turnover.
Oh, nice pass there. Trying to save it. Patton, no, tried to give it to Hardy, but Neville able to get it right back. Here's now in transition. 3-on-2. Uribe's loses it. Brown able to keep it. Oh, no, it's Castigli, excuse me. But now Monroe going the other direction. 3-on-2. Floater. Cashes in. Taj Holmes now has 5 points. And now a timeout's going to be called here by Grand Island with 4:22 to go in this one, as we'll stay here on the broadcast side of things, as right now just a 15-point advantage from Grand Island, but you are seeing some momentum for Monroe.
And that's exactly what Coach Simpson feels, so that's why he's taking the timeout to try and stop that momentum. But as far as the trap goes from Monroe, I love it because it's a man trap, and then Coach is giving his teammates the freedom to go trap when it's an advantageous situation. Meaning, and I could see that because the trap's coming from the side, not from the front court into the back court. So it's an element of surprise, and that's why Jonathan Neville is going to have to either A, pass the ball up quicker, or keep that ball in the middle third of the court, meaning if you were to take those 2 3-second keys and go right down the middle, he's got to stay there. He's going to have to pass off of the dribble. But the Vikings are going to have to help him as well.
And that looks like that's what they're trying to set up here. They know this trap can come with that full court pressure, and they're able to bring it up court.
Okay, and they backed off of it for whatever reason, but they had Wilkes right in that trapping area and gave up. So good spacing there. Nice teamwork there from the Vikings.
Holmes along the baseline, feeds it back over to Hardy, switches it down.
From the college three-point line. Again, Castiglia's got to clear out of there, give him some space, travel.
And yeah, Neville traveled there.
Yeah.
You saw number 4, Jordan Reese, come out of nowhere for the trap, and it caught Neville off guard.
Yeah, and Grand Island's not used to seeing a man press like this. They see 2-2-1 in our NFL league. They see some one, looked like a one in, but it didn't get any iron. But they'll see 2-2-1 press. They'll see a 1-2-2 press. Very rarely do they see a man trap press. So their alignment and their formation is set up for a zone press break. They've got to space the floor a little bit to keep those defenders nice and wide. But they used to see it back in the Niagara Falls days when they were in our league, which they'll be back soon. But so Coach Simpson is prepared, but the players haven't seen it.
A shot by attempt by Reese. It saw with their camera angle there, did not go in as they fought for the ball. That time, Hardy, three-pointer doesn't go, but got another foul here. It's going to be on Grand Island.
Yeah, and Jake, in these games, you want to sort of break up the periods or the quarters into little 4-minute games. So with 3:34 on the clock, this is a crucial juncture of the game to set the tone for the fourth.
Holmes able to win the jump ball battle. High off the glass, ball's tipped. Trying to go to Grand Island, and it does. Neville into the trap, able to move it over. Brown fakes the three, moves it over now to Wilkes. Here he goes, tries to find Castiglia. Well, I don't think was it
What?
seeing that pass there, and it goes off him out of bounds.
Well, Wilkes had the right idea there. He was driving the baseline. He had his teammate there, but just to pass a little bit low, hit him in the knees. But again, getting Grand Island to play faster than they want to play.
Reese inside. And it looked like Hardy got stripped away there by Castiglia. We'll get it back from Neville and go over now to Wilkes. By the Buffalo State logo, takes a couple dribbles. Uribe's three, cashes in from the far corner. That's now his second three-pointer made tonight.
Yeah, but Chase has only hit 3 3-pointers in the regular season. He's knocking him down here down at Buff State.
And now that ball looks like a foul was called. So Grand Island will get it. 2:43 to go here in the third as Vikings able to extend their lead now up by 17.
See how he's getting it back towards the middle. Good vision.
Fade away is Brown. Doesn't fall. Offensive board, though. Uribe's. What a quarter he's had here as he's able to attack, grab the board off the glass, and head to the line.
Excellent vocabulary there, Jake. Attack. Uribe's isn't going to play above the rim to grab those rebounds, but rebounding is an art for him. Notice where the shot was taken. He knew that was going to come soft. He said Brown is such a great shooter that typically great shooters are going to, they're going to miss a little bit long. Chase read that off the rim and basically beat 2 Red Jackets for that offensive board.
2 of 2 there from the line as when I spoke to head coach Chris Simpson from Grand Island about Uribe's, he just said the guy just works his tail off every time. Doesn't matter if it's in the game or it's in practice. He's always going to give you that extra effort as the game goes along. And we've seen it here in the third quarter. Jumper there, too strong, and Brown able to snag the board. Wilkes going to go down to Neville, be guarded by Reese. And now Uribe's trying to look for Castiglia, and he does. Just over 2 here in the third. Wilkes from the far wing, finding now Neville. Going to kick it back over to the right. Brown now with it from the top of the key. Moves it to Neville. Shot clock now down to 10. Try to go to Brown. It's deflected, but they're going to say it was last touch by Grand Island. It's turned over.
Well, yeah, I think Neville was trying to go over the top of the defense to Castiglia, who had his feet set in that corner, and Dane put his hands up to try and catch it. Great defense there by the Red Jackets, and you'll take that as a coach. The execution was there, the teamwork was there, the intent was there, and that's why you say, hey, let's keep it under 10 turnovers a game.
Reese trying to kick it out. Ball was tipped. Monroe keeps it. Here's a corner three. Hardy, short. Uribe's ball's coming to him early, but this one's taken away. And Reese thought he had an open layup, but Neville will get called for the foul.
Tremendous anticipation there from Reese. And Grand Island can't afford to give that ball away because now what do you have? 2 shot opportunities while the clock is stopped, and they'll be able to set their defense, make or miss.
And Reese has been a guy on the season there as he misses the free throw attempt, had 13 points last game. He's has some nice balance in scoring, just under 8 a game, but also 5 rebounds a contest. So definitely a very pivotal part of this team that, you might need to see more from him later on in this game as he goes 1 of 2 from the line. Castiglia trapped, able to bounce it over to Wilkes by the Bengal logo, moves it over to Neville. Just over a minute here to go in the third. On a drive, Castiglia, floater's too strong, and Hardy will grab it. Crossing over to his left. Now from the corner to the baseline, trying to attack is Holmes, who will head to the line.
Well, Jake, Monroe Red Jackets, they were the 4 seed in their bracket, and they did some nice work on this run. First of all, they took care of Rochester Prep in the pre-quarterfinals, 79-51. Then they beat Batavia, who's always tough, in the quarterfinals, 58-44. Now, they knocked off the #1 seed East High School 67-61 in the semis, and East beat Monroe 2 times in the regular season. So that was a huge win for Coach Cunningham and the program. And then they beat #3 Wayne, who's always tough. We've seen them year in and year out in the regionals, and they beat them 49-47 in the championship. So this team is battle tested. They're on a great run right now, and they believe they can pull this off in a 16-point game.
Is on a drive, and it's going to be an offensive foul called on Chase Uribe's.
Yeah, and that is longtime veteran official, one of the best in New York State, Tom Roberts, and absolutely the correct call as Chase led with the shoulder, and that's going to be the second foul on Uribe, so he's going to get a little early break here. You don't miss much with #4 Ryan Meyer come in. He's had a great season coming in and changing the game off the bench, which is any reserve's role, to change the game.
Now with 45 seconds and ticking away. Pass there was tipped. Red Jackets keep it. Tipped once again by Wilkes as it goes out of bounds, but Monroe will keep it. 23 seconds left on the shot clock. It's Patton now with 6 points so far. From the right elbow, looking to attack in. Layup is good by Anthony Omibe, his first bucket of the game.
That was an incredible shot over the outstretched hand of Dane Brown.
Casigula, bounce pass over to Dane Brown, but a foul is called. It's going to be on Monroe. That'll be the team's 4th foul here.
Okay, this is one of those situations with 16.5 on the clock where one of these teams is going to go into this break with momentum.
Brown, double teamed, but draws the foul.
Yeah, too easy there. Monroe, they just played excellent defense for the last 2 possessions. And those baseline out-of-bounds opportunities are great for the offense, but for the defense, you cannot use those situations to rest or to get your composure. You got to be communicating, switching on all screens, however the defense is designed on your baseline out-of-bounds defense. But Grand Island's getting too many points off of their baseline out-of-bounds possessions.
And with Dane Brown here, going 2 of 2 from the line. All 4 of his points have come from the charity stripe. He's only had 4 in this quarter, but Grand Island still maintaining a 15-plus point advantage. Here's 5 seconds left. Patton getting the screen by Omibe. 3-pointer doesn't go. Brown with the board. Buzzer will sound. And after 3 quarters of play, Grand Island maintaining their lead as they got 1 more quarter to go with a chance to move on. We'll step aside. We'll get to the final 8 when we come back here with more here on the NFHS Network.
Many people might go on to not play collegiately, but they can take a lot of skills that they learn and use it in their professional life, in their future careers.
There is a direct correlation between how much work you put in and how much you're going to get out of that.
Our #1 priority is protecting our players. That's why we're writing new rules for the sport and developing innovative educational tools that protect our athletes. This is player protection. This is high school football.
Welcome back, everyone, here to Buffalo State University for Section 6, taking on Section 5. Boys Class A Regional Semifinal round between Grand Island and Monroe, where the Vikings up by 16 and looking to attack. But right now, Monroe looking to create a spark, but Grand Island getting it right back. Just 1 turnover after another. Mayer looking to go up. Off the glass, doesn't fall, and Omibe will secure the rebound.
Yeah, Mayer's got to make a better read than that. He did his job. Offensive rebound. He's got to turn and find someone.
Holmes' 3-pointer doesn't fall. But attacking in is Hardy for the layup. He's got 10.
Nice.
Right now, the only guy in double-digit
He travels.
Would have loved to see that go down there for the flush, but unfortunately, a travel is called.
Yeah, and Neville played that perfectly, too, getting into that middle third of the floor, creating vision.
Holmes trying to drive by the zone defense. Kicks it out. Ball gets tipped into the hands of Brown, and we go the other way. Neville over to Brown. Looked like he tried to find Castiglia, but it was tipped. But Vikings will keep it, as you're seeing a little bit from their head coach and Simpson just try to slow down the pace a bit.
Yeah, and again, you got to watch the pin down screen here. There it is, opposite side. Clean look.
And a clean finish there by Brown, his 4th three-pointer of the game, and he's got 29.
And that's got to be 15 points off out-of-bounds plays for the Vikings.
Reese on a drive, gets it to go against the 6'7" frame of Dane Brown.
And you look up at that scoreboard, and you calculate those 15 points on out-of-bounds situations. That's really been the difference here for Grand Island. I mean, the game started, if you remember, Jake, there was a clock issue, and they scored on a sideline out-of-bounds play when Dane Brown hit the three. When the night the time stopped. And that's 10 seconds there.
Oh, it looks like the officials are going to have a discussion if that was or not. So one official called it a 10-second violation, and then like another official jumped in right away saying, I don't think so, but now the officials are going to, looks like have a discussion. They might change this, Ryan.
Well, this is, well.
So, yeah, Grand Island's going to keep it.
Yeah, I was looking at my notes, so I don't know if there was a change of possession.
And now Monroe's head coach, Charles Cunningham,
Or if
got a little talk there from the officials just seeing why they changed it.
Ball could have been deflected, which in the old days didn't give you a fresh clock, but must be it does now. Been a couple rule changes over the years since I've stepped away.
Here's now Castiglia from the wing, moving over to Neville. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Wilkes looking to see what he can do. Goes to his left, kicks it out. Castiglia open, misses the three before the shot clock expired, but we continue on. And now Holmes going by himself. Brown with the rebound. Tried to pass it off, but a foul is called on Monroe.
Yeah, really nice offensive possession there from the Vikings. Ends in a wide open look from their second best three-point shooter. But again, Grand Island making everything difficult for Monroe, even on that transition. You could tell Monroe's probably used to getting clean to the rack there for the easy two, and it's just not happening tonight in the state playoffs.
Now from the lower left block, kicking it out. Neville going to set up the offense. That shot clock ticks down to 15.
Excellent patience here.
Now at 10. Wilkes, guarded heavily by Omibe. Neville on a drive, kicks it out, open. Castiglia gets it to go.
He knocked that one down. Excellent. Nice job by Wilkes handling pressure. Neville attacks with the intent to pass. Castiglia's been knocking those threes down all year.
And now another turnover. Here's a 3-on-1. Neville's layup doesn't go. Monroe trying to save it, goes off Grand Island. So the Red Jackets will luckily get the ball as we get a substitution for Monroe. Number 14, Brian Walker, the junior, checks back in.
Well, going back to the end of that third, I mentioned about momentum and how in that last 16 seconds, one of those two teams is going to go to that bench with some momentum, and they gave Dane Brown the two free throws, missed down the other end, and now you see the different body language. One team jogging over to the bench, and now the other team walking to the bench. But talk about momentum. Grand Island's had it all season long, a phenomenal schedule, or excuse me, a phenomenal record. They won the Niagara Frontier League, which was probably the toughest league in Western New York this year. Had the top five were all very good and had a couple schools that had the all-time leading scores of their schools, and so Grand Island's battle-tested. Obviously, North Tonawanda won Double-A. They'll be playing here Friday night against Penfield. But if you look at their playoff run in the quarterfinals, 81-38 win over West Seneca East, and then in the semis, always tough Williamsville South Billies. Beat them 66-53, and so far, Coach Trzbinski and the Billies have given the Vikings the toughest game that they've had in the playoffs and the championship. Another NFL team, the Lewiston Porter Lancers, who had a phenomenal run as a 6th seed, but too much size for the Lancers, and they beat them 63-39. And then the crossover against Fredonia, who was the number 4 seed in A2, but the champions. I really expected that one to go down to the wire the other night. We broadcast that. And 69-37 win over the champions out of the Cattaraugus Chautauqua Athletic Association. So if they could hold on here and beat this great team from Rochester, the dream season continues, but the Red Jackets are going to make them earn it. They are not going to go away.
Exactly 5 minutes to go in this one. Wilkes inside Consiglia, wide open, but quickly a double team. Now, Uribe's three-pointer. It's in.
I repeat, according to the stat sheet, Chase Uribe's has only hit 3 3-pointers in the regular season. He was 3 of 21. He has been on fire down here at Buff State this week.
Now Hardy fighting it with Uribe's, who's diving for the ball, and a foul is called on Monroe as they just cannot find any sort of offense in this one. And it's starting to look like that dominant performance after dominant performance, like you mentioned, Ryan, during this playoff run that Grand Island's had. To go back to what you said about the playoffs, one of those games you mentioned was Will South. Last season, they played Will South in the Class A1 finals. And after Grand Island had a successful 20-plus win season. Lost to them in the A1 finals, and from that point on, a lot of those guys on this year's teams was on last year's squad. They really wanted to put in the work in the offseason and get right back to where they were and go even further. And they were able to do that against Newport, winning a section title, their first one since 1992.
As we see another beautiful shot by Chase Uribe's, but he doesn't. This is someone in transition, but no. Great point. Great point about the sectional championship last year. Now, Williamsville South definitely had a little bit more firepower than they did this year, but there's a couple things from that game. As far as Grand Island goes, it was a learning opportunity. A lot of these players were on that team, including Jeremiah Wilkes, who was a freshman, and this is a point I made earlier in the season on some broadcasts, but they left Wilkes open and asking him to shoot, and he really wouldn't. I think he only took 1 or 2 shots. He just tried to help his teammates in other areas because he's such a great defender and driver of the basketball. And what did he do in the offseason? He worked on his game. He's, first of all, for 3-point shots, he's knocked down 15 of them, shooting 33%, but he leads the team in 2-point baskets, or excuse me, in a 2-point basket percentage at 63%. But he's averaging 10 a game, 70 boards and 82 assists, 29 steals. Now this will be, if Grand Island can hold on to this lead, a lot can happen. We've seen a lot happen down here in this arena over the years, Jake, but if they can hold on, this will be the furthest that Grand Island has ever went. When they won the sectionals in 92, they did win the crossover, and then when they played in the regional, they played Pal Mac and lost. I talked to Coach Roth out in the hallway, and he told me all about it. So, longtime AD and coach John Roth, and that's his grandson down there, number 0, Jonathan Neville.
Nice connection there all from the Grand Island basketball program as Neville, the main pass distributor, moves it to Uribe's, and now finding his Castiglia. Here's 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Now it's down to 3. Here's Brown now with 1 second left. Has to throw it up and doesn't get it to fall. But a great effort nonetheless. But now Patton will bring it up just over 3 minutes in this one. Shot by Hardy, doesn't go. They are living and dying by the 3-point shot attempts. Brown pops up for 3 from the near wing.
Like I said earlier, If he's got sight line to the basket and his feet are set, it's going down.
Right now, unofficially, I have him down as 32 points for the junior, which is close to his season high where he dropped 37 points. Casiglia now with it. Currently has 7 points, but now taken away. Driving is Reese, trying to create some quick points, but he'll head to the line and shoot 2 once more.
Well, Coach Chris Simpson has been teaching and coaching in the Grand Island School District for close to 30 years. Varsity level, junior varsity level, and varsity level again. And what you're seeing on the offensive end, he's got 2 attacks, a 5-out offense, cut, fill, screen away, look for advantageous situations, maybe a switch, but also he's got a flex offense. A flex offense is a continuity offense where it's more of a pattern. There's a lot of cross screens away, down screens, but it's not an offense that you see anymore in high school basketball, which I said it's more positionless, but it's an excellent way to grind down a great man-for-man defensive team and also choose some clock and have everybody on the same page. A little old school basketball.
Old school basketball where we just saw something that we don't see really often from the free throw line. Reese lost control of the ball, stepped over the line, and it ended up being a violation as a result of it. That's something you don't see very often.
Yeah, that's too bad for Reese. He's played a really good game. Maybe one of those things where if you're playing a league game on a Tuesday, they might let it go, but when you're in the state playoffs, it's called tight.
And Brown getting it to go off the putback, drawing the foul in the process. He's not done scoring yet.
And again, if you didn't get a chance to see Dane Brown play this season on the local level or state level, you are seeing absolutely one of the top 3 to 5 players in Western New York, but got to be one of the top players in New York State.
So right now, I officially have him down as 35 points on what has been a phenomenal game for him, as Monroe just continuing to chuck up threes and has just have not found success from the perimeter. Jumper, though, that time, falls by Holmes. Trying to move it over to Brown, who goes in, and they get now 37 points for him. He is not done yet. Walker on the attack. Gets it to go. And now we got a little fast-paced back and forth battle. One quick bucket after another.
Well, congratulations to Monroe and Terrell Cunningham and the Red Jacks at 17-5. They'll finish 17-6. But again, the 4 seed in that very difficult bracket that they played in. And
it's now 37 for Dane Brown.
We might have to look up the record for how many points in a regional game here at Buffalo State. That's got to be up there.
Deep 3 there by Hardy doesn't go. Well, what a phenomenal season this has been for Grand Island, and a certain bond that you could tell these players have not only on the court, but have also shown it off the court as well, as Wilkes continuing this offensive dominance.
And the shots that Williamsville South gave him last year, he thought about that all offseason. He said, next year, teammates, you're going to be able to rely on me because I'm going to be able to hit him from behind the arc. And that just sent his team to the next round, which this is a sub-regional, which is something new. And when is Grand Island going to play next, Jake?
Well, the 6th ranked team in the state in Class A, they'll face either Friends Academy from Section 8 or Maine Enwell from Section 4. Now, with this game being out of reach here, this puts Grand Island in a spot to where, because they win this game, they will face either Friends Academy or Maine Enwell here at Buffalo State this Saturday for a 6 p.m. tip-off. And I believe that game between Maine Enwell and Friends Academy is happening right now. I don't know what the score is at the moment, but right now, this is Grand Island will be playing against one of those 2 teams here at Buffalo State.
Well, it's an extra round. A1 had to play A2, so Grand Island already had to win a regional qualifier to get into this sub-regional game. Hey, nice shot. Number 15, we don't have him on the roster. We assume he's a JV call-up, but, man, he just has a basket at Buff State, and good for him coming in. That's not easy to do when you're sitting over there, but it's an extra round that some of the brackets have done. Unlike AA, where it was just win your bracket, no crossover in Section 6, go right to the regionals with a chance to go to the Final Four. Poor Grand Island, they're going to have to play an extra round to get there, but if they play like this, I like their chances.
And they will take it here and end Monroe's season, 77-51. And what was even a dominant, high-scoring performance by Dane Brown. I have him unofficially down as 37, which would tie his season high. But even still with the 37 points he scored, it still felt like unselfish team basketball.
Yeah, that Grand Island is so balanced. And, talking with the Fredonia coach the other day, he said we're going to have to stop number 5. But it's Grand Island's so balanced that if you're too overly focused on number 5, then the rest of the team beats you. But Grand Island, obviously, they got the job done today on the defensive end, the offensive end. They were able to handle the pressure. And again, hats off to the Monroe Red Jackets for a phenomenal season. But you got to give credit to Coach Simpson and Coach Kulikowski and the staff for representing Section 6 in a positive way. Always a classy program. Great leadership on that team. And you get the feeling, Jake, that they just have that feeling that they can beat everybody. I was down actually talking to Coach Cunningham before the game, and I could hear the Grand Island players seeing once they saw down on the court, I could hear them talking amongst each other, like, wow, they're not as big as we thought they were going to be. So that confidence started to grow right down on that court in the pregame. And so hats off to Grand Island, and we'll have that broadcast, I believe, right here on NFHS.
We definitely will. That will definitely be this Saturday, where we didn't get a chance to highlight the other game, but we will here real quick. This isn't the only matchup happening here at Buffalo State. We got one more to go in Class B, and it's another Section 6 versus Section 5 matchup. It will be Olmsted from Section 6 taking on the school duo of Bishop Kearney Chesterton Academy Kings from Section 5, as that will get going in about half an hour or so. But for this broadcast here, well, thank you for everyone that's tuning in this one. For our main camera guy, Russell Battaglia, our producer, Tim Gardner, our color commentator, Ryan Mountain. My name is Jacob Fike. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time here on the NFHS Network.
1 second from half court.
Jumping for joy with
First ever.
A 2-on-1. Oh,
Did he bring it in?